Hello and welcome to another SHAREfactory tutorial. Now this isn't covering the basics, this is more covering just general tips and tricks to editing, just quick ways, just good things to know when you're editing your videos. So let's say you can't add transitions at the very beginning of your video. You can add transitions between them, but you can't add one at the very start. So what I like to do is add a screenshot of a black screen. Now I just generally find you can actually do this now. I had just a black screen that you can do, but now you can get the solid color. So you could add that in, go to settings, turn the brightness all the way down so it's black. Done. That's a full-on black background that you can do. Now just trim it down just a bit, and then you could do that. So then add a transition. I personally like the fade through color. Well, never mind them, but I'll just make that just a bit too large. I'll just split it halfway about there. So boom, done. You can delete that. Add transition, fade through color. Has a bit of a fade, then it gets straight into it. Then it gets straight into the video and it fades. and it works. So that's what you can do. Another thing to keep in mind is, let's say you want to add music as well. You want to add music in the background. Now this is a very important tip. So what I like to do to keep it at good volume, I'd say keep all of the clips at 200%, just so it's good general volume for all of your clips, and when you're listening to the audio, when it's actually on the video, it's good quality. Well, not so much good quality, but you can hear it really well. And another thing to keep in mind is when adding music is that you keep it really low, especially songs like this. So it's really loud and it overpowers the general clip, so you can't hear my voice. So what I like to do is to tone it down a lot to 20%, sometimes higher, sometimes lower. For this one especially, I keep it down for a 10 because that song is actually really loud, but most of the time it would be about very minimum of 5% or a maximum of 30. It really does depend on what you're using, but just keep the music more backgroundish. Things like sound effects can be different. I know that I'll just get a good example. Let's see this.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Like that is okay to have at full volume. It's reasonably like you can
Surprise,
still
motherfucker.
so you can still kind of hear my voice as well as the sound effect, which is really good. So you don't really have to change it that much. Like, experiment with filters. You don't experiment with a combination of things. So let's say, I don't know, I really should have done this on a test thing because I'm just mucking around at some point. Hang on. Okay, so let's see if you want to add a combination. So let's see, just if you find a really sad moment or something. Let's say I want to take this clip. Of me just on the ground. Take that clip of me on the ground. Take that. Let's see, make a time blender. Let's make it really slow. So it's really slow. And then you could add, let's say, filter. You can make it black and white. Now there are multiple. I'm gonna go more into the filters that you can get. These are all of them, but they are photo filters. I'd say my favorite ones would be black and white. Blur is okay. Sepia is okay as well. Wind is alright. VHS is quite interesting. Like if you're doing that standby thing, then if you're doing that standby clip like the brr as the rainbow TV, this filter is really good for that. Let's say if you want to delete that filter. Let's see if you want to make it kind of dramatic, you could add the black and white. That's always good for the sad moment. Let's see you doing that, and you could add some music in there. Try and get a variety of music in this. So let's say I have a variety of sound effects. I have the ding. I have a variety of sound effects. Just a lot of things that will be good to know. I'll also be having links to like these songs or where to find them. They're quite good songs. I recommend that you use them because they have quite good mood. Have a variety of moods in your music, so you could get some happy, some sad, some kind of light-hearted, some kind of epic. Like with the SHAREfactory ones that you get straight up, they're very one mood. Like you can't really do a video on it. They're okay for montages. I'd say no for montages, man. Like they've zero variety in mood, and the mood that they're trying to get across is done really poorly, so it's not really good. So I recommend getting a variety of songs. Just kind of keep in mind the things that you may be doing in your videos, the stuff that may happen, and what music would kind of fit that situation. So like if I'm doing a 1v1, this would be very good. If I'm like charging right into enemy lines, this would be very good as well. If it's just one of those casual songs, you could get this. It's very casual. There's also this. There are lots of casual songs that you can use. Oh, and also I found that elevator song. So that's always good. It's just good. Find a variety in music, and it enhances your videos a lot more. As you can see, these are not very good. Okay, that actually sounds pretty cool. It sounds like a pretty cool duel, but I know it sounds cool, but keep on listening. So it kinda ruins it. Like it's had a good start, to be honest, but then it kinda ruined it. It went from very western, very like good, bad, and the ugly theme song to like hard out death metal. So that's majority of these songs. They're like all death metal, and it's not very good. So just like I said, just get some good music. So if you want to add some music, let's say for the sad part, you could get, I don't know, hang on, I have a good one here somewhere. Heartbreaking, here we go. So it's very, just, you're chilling, and it just works very well. So, yeah. Also, keep in mind the amount of music that the amount of music clips that you have, because I know what I do is when I'm going through my videos, I add heaps and heaps of sound effects, which are really cool. It looks really, really cool, but then it doesn't really work for me because I love to add a lot of sound effects, but this doesn't work because you can only add 12, which is really disappointing. And with the new update, I expected them to like extend the amount of musical clips that you can have, but no, they didn't do that. They did other things. They've done more things. Like it's definitely better, but in some areas I'm still a bit disappointed. But keep in mind, because if you're adding heaps and heaps of sound effects on one segment of the video, then when you come to like if you say on the first half you had heaps and heaps of sound effects, and you use like 10 clips, you'd only have 2 clips for the other half of the video, which, if you've seen my videos, my editing style, it doesn't really work that way, because I have heaps of clips, each of them like lots of them having their own different mood, so like the mood can change really quickly, and you just gotta keep in mind how many clips that you are using. Also, if you're when you're recording, say you're recording a game, you've got your headset in, you've got the party set up, you're recording, your voice is in it, everything, and when you're editing it, you can't hear your voice at all. Like, it's overpowered by the music in the actual game, and there's nothing you can do to change that, except what you can do is before you record, just go into the actual game settings and turn the music down. It just works a lot better. You can hear your voice a lot more. I know one time I did a recording on like DC Universe Online, I did a recording on that, and I couldn't even hear my voice because the music in the actual game was just so loud and overpowering that I just couldn't even make a video out of it. It was just that bad. So you can do, there's more fine stuff on the D-pad. If you tap left and right, it does a lot more precise stuff, so you don't exactly have to use the right analog stick all the time. There's always just a bit more stuff that you can do. Also on the thumbnails, I'd say, oh, not thumbnails, hang on the, let's say on the overlays, the stickers, there's also not much variety. You can't import your own pictures to put on the thing, which is really, really disappointing. I really wish that they would implement that sort of feature, but there aren't. So there aren't any features like that, and they're stuck with terrible stuff like this, and it's just really, really bad. I mean, look at those emojis. They're terrible. Do you ever see like those types of emojis? No. They're just that bad. I'd say the only good things would be maybe these down at the bottom. They'd be decent. Also, I'd say the arrows, they're okay as well. I wish you could change the color, but you can't. The arrows, this arrow right here, I say that one's the best. I would recommend using that. But there's not much variety when it comes to this. Also, the starting clips at the very beginning, just don't even bother with them. Just don't even bother, because it's really pointless. Because let's just see, let's just add them together. Would you want to watch this at the very start of the video? Nobody wants to know that you edited this with SHAREfactory. Some people may want to know. I mean, like, it's cool to like see, hey, I wonder how this dude edits his videos. It'll be really cool to see that. But at the start of each video, you don't need to do that. It's like at the very start of, it's like those 3D intros that you see in, with some YouTubers. They have like their name, and it goes like and like pops out in front of the screen, and it's just moving around anywhere. Those 3D animation intros. Now those are okay. Well, they're better than this, but nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see this. See, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to. If you're actually playing Battlefield Hardline, then that may be acceptable, but majority of the time, you're not playing Battlefield Hardline. So this is kind of really, really awkward. No, that would usually have the title of the thing, the title of the game, who made it. Like, it would have, let's see, I don't know, Goat. It would have like Goat Simulator, and they would have my name, and they would have my player icon. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody does. And this is just pointless as well. Like, it's pointless. Just just don't add it. Don't add those pointless SHAREfactory intros. You're much better off doing the fade into it, or to just go straight into it, because it's just generally a lot better. Also with the effects, so let's see, if you're adding text, it would only last the rest of that clip, and it would only last onward when you placed it. So if I placed it right here, where I'm splitting the clip right now, so if I put a text on the screen right there in the middle of the screen, it would carry over throughout all of this until it gets there. So effects reset for each clip. Effects are different for each clip, so keep that in mind. So let's say if I want to add some overlay here, set text. The text sizes aren't that big, to be honest, but let's just say I don't really care, don't have too much time to type, so I just have that. Boom. That would last for the rest of the clip until it passes on to the next one. But you could continue to add on to these. So let's see, if it one of those things where the words pop up as you say them, like it will be that, it'll be like and then you go hood, like go hood chopper, there you go like g. So you do that, so it does show up in order.
To food, huh?
So show up in order.
I love carrots.
So like come up with that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind, because if you like, I've made this mistake before when I'm doing my outros. I would add them at different places, and it would just look really weird. It would be like, watch my last video, a few seconds later, subscribe, and it's just really weird. Keep in mind where you're placing the effects, where they show up, where they end. Just keep that in mind. Thumbnails. So like if you want to make a thumbnail for your video, you can also copy in screenshots to USB. So if you want to you can make a thumbnail on your thing straight up. So I'll show you how to make it. So let's say Goat Simulator. Perfect. It's there. So I want to add onto this. So let's see, add overlay. Gonna add a sticker, but this is like really poor quality thumbnail. Like I doubt people are going to click on this video, because you can't really do much when it comes to thumbnails on this. Like it's possible, but they're not very good quality. I'd much rather just go into either Photoshop or free website that you can use it. How I do my thumbnails, I'll put in the description. It's a website called BeFunky. It's free. It's pretty decent. It's not as good as Photoshop, but for most people it really suits them. Me especially. So like let's say if you really want to create a thumbnail on this, then you go boom there, AJ Trickster, and if you want to add, I don't know, like SHAREfactory, because you just want to show off the fact that you used SHAREfactory. I don't know why. It's a stupid thing to do, but just hey. So once you've done that, so you want that to be a thumbnail, wait for that little bar at the bottom to go away, and then take a screenshot. So once you've done that, you can just copy that onto your USB along with your things. Same process. Go to Capture Gallery, go to SHAREfactory, or whatever the screenshot came from. Select the game where the screenshot came from. Copy that onto USB, and you can put that onto your thumbnails. I don't think you actually have to change the resolutions or anything, or the size, because it's already done. So, or what you can do if you just wanted to, let's say, just Goat Simulator, and you want to use that, you can just do the same thing, bring it up full screen using L2, screenshot it, copy it onto USB, and then put it onto your computer where you could edit it on BeFunky. Again, the link is in the description. This is an example of thumbnails that you can create on SHAREfactory. This is purely made through SHAREfactory. This was one of my first videos, and I pretty much just took a screenshot of Fallout 4 and I just added in a couple of things, and it looks okay from like, no, it doesn't even look okay, it looks terrible compared to like other thumbnails. This is really, really bad. So just keep in mind that making thumbnails on SHAREfactory are really, really bad, because the texts that you put in are terrible. Like, that's maximum size, I'm quite sure. That's like the biggest fonts that you can get. You can't import any other pictures. Like, those pictures were like the best ones out of the really, really bad ones. Like, there were so many bad stickers, and since you can't import your own, they're very, very limited options. So I recommend that you just don't. Just, if you have a computer or anything, just like, I'm literally edit my thumbnails on a Chromebook. Like, you know, those really, really bad laptops? Yeah, I use that to edit my thumbnails. So just keep in mind that there are much better ways to do thumbnails. If you're really, really desperate to get a thumbnail, then this would work. It would work, but it's not gonna be the best thumbnail that you could possibly make. When you're recording, like, if you're recording, this is just general recording tip. If you're like me, if you're using SHAREfactory to edit, then you're most likely recording using the PlayStation 4 feature of, like, you double tap the share button, or tap it or hold it, or whatever your settings are for it, and you record 15 minutes of gameplay. And if you're like me, you may play some multiplayer games while recording. Now, big tip, big important tip: set up a party before you go into multiplayer while recording, because I've plugged in my mic to my controller. Therefore, if I went into multiplayer game and started recording without a party, everybody would be able to hear me. So set up a party. I can't stress it enough. Set up your own party before doing this, and prioritize party chat. Just do that. Also, if you want to record someone else's voice, or you want your voice to be allowed in other people's voice, you have to go into some really fiddly settings. So bring up the share button and press options. So bring up the settings and view the guide. So go into sharing and broadcast settings. Then you have to go to audio sharing settings. This is where you find the options that you need. Then you have to click share party audio. It also includes microphone audio and clips, and then also include microphone audio and broadcast. Also keep in mind that everybody has to have this sort of settings if they want to be heard in the recording. You have to allow your voice to be heard, so set on always allow. If the person you're recording with does not have always allow, then their voice will not show up in your recordings. So just keep in mind, if you want to record with someone, if you want to collab, then tell them to change those types of settings, otherwise you won't hear them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video has helped you, give you a bit more tips on how to use SharePlay, a bit more general tips and tricks that you can use when editing your videos, like how to edit thumbnails, how to import your own music, stuff like that. So good luck editing your videos. Hope you guys make amazing content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.